So LGMD, a harsh light coming from my left side. So I don't even know where to start on this one. I don't even know where to start. Let's just start with some truths. You know, there's some serious truths about California. All the things they say are true. Traffic is atrocious. You don't even know what I went through just to get here just now. What you got to go through, what you got to drive through just to get here. It is ridiculous. So the traffic is 100% true. It is bad out here. The heat is unrelenting. It's about 80 degrees. It's going to get up to 90 or 100 degrees. And that heat don't stop. There's no clouds in the sky to stop it. It just keeps coming down on you. It can get a little oppressive, believe it or not. And it's a cold world out here, California. You got to be a thug to make it out here. Physicians got to be thugs. You got to be cold all the way down to the inside, so the internal organs. You got to be cold. You got to be heartless. You got to be ruthless to make it out here. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's 100% true. Just know that before you come out here, that's how it is out here. If you show any softness, any weakness, you're just going to end up on the side of the road, and people are going to be driving past you just to get to work. And that's how it is out here. You know, it is a gangster's paradise. Everything they say. Through a strange series of events, which I'll describe later on, it has come to be that I actually control interventional services at 3 hospitals out here in East LA in the San Gabriel Valley. That's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. Some people might see that as a bad thing. I'm seeing that as a good thing. I've got some cool cases lined up today. I've got a leg angio here in the morning and potentially a TIPS in the afternoon. I've got some calls I gotta make. There's a new guy that's holding it down at the other hospital. He's holding it down, and if we'll team up together on this TIPS, I think it'll be kind of fun. The other day we did a leg angio, same patient we're going to do this morning. She's got multifocal disease. We put up a balloon in the common iliac. There's a severe narrowing there. Dilated it, improved the blood flow, and improved her outcome going forward. That's what PAD is. I'm trying to tell people that PAD is not rocket science. PAD is not this thing that you have to go to these meetings and hear people drone on and on for 3 hours about the SFA. That's not what PAD is. PAD is you do an angiogram, right? You do a flush angiogram. You diagnose a lesion. As a radiologist, you diagnose a hemodynamically significant lesion, and then you cross that lesion with a stiff wire, and you dilate that lesion with a balloon. That's what PAD is. POBA, POBA, plain old balloon angioplasty. I think it's still the gold standard. I'm not sure, but I have to look that up. But whether or not it's the gold standard, it's what is done, and it's what works, and it is what is financially viable. You put up a balloon, you dilate the narrowing, and then you do a post-dilation angiography and see how you did. And typically the vessel looks better. PAD, again, is not rocket science. I was looking at the images yesterday with a vascular surgeon, guy with a lot of experience, and he just said that we basically got to dilate up these blood vessels before they close down for good. That's all there is to it. Same thing you're doing when you're placing a perm cath, you know. Before you put that 16 French peel-away sheath, you dilate the vein as the skin and subcutaneous tissue going into the vein. You use a dilator. Same thing you're doing with the balloon is you're dilating the tissue, you know. Cool thing about the balloons is that they're a small French size when you place them, and then on the inside they go to a nominal diameter. So you're able to make a small vessel puncture and dilate something inside the vessel to a larger diameter. So that's what you're gaining, is you're able to dilate a certain level while making the puncture small. And the goal of interventional radiology is to make as small a puncture as possible and then do as great of an intervention as you can on the inside. So as long as you know how to control the opening, you know, make a decent opening and then close that opening, you're in good shape. And he even goes back to Dotter, right? He did a dilator. He didn't use balloons. He didn't have balloons. Grunzig hadn't made the balloons. What Dotter did was Dotter got access to a blood vessel, got a wire across the narrowing, and then used a dilator. Used a long dilator. I think it was a Teflon dilator. He just passed it from the opening, treated the lesion, and then pulled the dilator back out. And if you think about it, he dilated the opening to the vessel as well, and he held manual pressure to close it. And if you can do that, you're doing PAD. Even now, if you can do that, you're doing PAD. But you can do one better by learning how to close blood vessels using devices, or how to use smaller French-sized devices, or just kind of being knowledgeable about these things. But sort of lost track of this one. Basically, a lot of good work lined up for the day, and I got to get to it. So, Struggle on B. I'll see you guys later.